Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Tesla stock. So let's go ahead and check out this stock for today. It's a Saturday, so the market is not going on. This is just a weekend, so we got to stand still right now. And this gives me a chance to analyze the stock while it's not moving. And I was also going to do a portfolio update video on Friday, but I did like 3 videos aside from a portfolio update. And the only reason I chose not to do that for Friday was just because, as you can see, there wasn't really much going on. There was a lot of volatility for sure. But at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, there was really not a big difference in what my portfolio looked like at the end of Friday compared to what it was looking like on Thursday. But one thing that I did notice that I didn't really get a chance to talk about was the movement of Tesla stock. So Friday we had another significant drop downwards. We've actually been seeing some red days for Tesla more often recently than what we've been used to over the past few months, but it is some interesting movement to say the least. I mean, regardless of where Tesla stock is going, it's always entertaining for me to keep up with it. So as always, if you all do appreciate the Tesla content and just me talking about my feelings and thoughts towards the future for this stock, then please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out, and I greatly appreciate it. But as you can see, for the past month, yes, it's looking really good for us. We're in the positive at plus 28% for Tesla. I think pretty much any investor in the stock market would be grateful for a plus 28% gain. So I'm surely not complaining about this whatsoever, but I'm just mentioning that there has been a pullback on this stock, a notable pullback recently. And if we take a look, like I said, if we exclude this July 1st through July 7th marker, we start out on the 8th, and that's when we have a little bit of an uptick, and the stock absolutely skyrocketed on July 13th, and then it drops back down at the end of that day. So July 13th was probably one of the craziest days ever for Tesla because we had such a huge movement upwards, and then we lost all of that progress at the end of the day. That one definitely hurt. It was really sad to see me with like $8,000 in gains, and then it just goes right back down to a loss for the day. So that was unfortunate. But after that point, we pretty much got some volatility here and there. But the general trend is pretty much this line straight across, just following this line right here. So we've had a lot of volatility recently with not that much action, to be honest. Other than these first few days, like I mentioned, there hasn't been anything significant in terms of a permanent trend after July 7th. We've gotten a few movements up and down. We had a spike on the 13th, like I mentioned, another spike on July 20th through the 23rd, and then it drops back down and then bumps back up once again, and then we are finally on this point at the 31st from where we've been at pretty much the whole time here. So in terms of a permanent trend, we haven't seen Tesla go anywhere recently. We've just been seeing it going up and below this $1,500 number. So it seems like $1,500 is the sweet spot for Tesla right now, but there has been a little bit of a pullback. If we look at the past week for Tesla, like I said, with $1,500 being that sweet spot, from the past month, I've noticed when it does go below $1,500, it seems that a lot of investors take that as a discount and decide to buy in, which in my personal opinion, anything under $1,500 for Tesla right now is a buy for me personally. If I had the money, I would be buying right now. But like I mentioned, when it does go under $1,500, at least with recent movements, it seems like people have been picking it up and buying the stock under $1,500. However, like I said with this video, there has been a pullback recently. The best day of the week was around this July 28th marker. And then after that, we have just seen a slow decline with some volatility here and there, but the general trend is downwards from this July 28th point. We had this peak on July 28th at 11:30 a.m. at $1,561 per share. And then, like I said, we had some volatility of going down, bouncing back up at this peak in the midday, and then going back down again, bouncing back up at this peak in the midday, then going back down again, bouncing up at this peak in the midday, and then going back down again. So there is sort of that trend so far with a little bit of volatility, bouncing up to a peak in the midday, and then Tesla stock dropping down towards the end of the day. So this has been consistent over like the past 4 days in the stock market, and we have been seeing a pullback with Tesla stock where there isn't much resistance with the stock going under $1,500 and people correcting it and buying it until it goes back over $1,500. So we finally entered under this $1,500 marker, and it seems like it's starting to stay around this under $1,500 number. So I'm kind of wondering if we'll see the stock pull back under $1,400. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see this happen in the next week or so, but like I say in many of my videos, the short term is not really relevant to my investing strategies. What really matters for me is the long term. That's what matters. The big picture is what matters, not the portrait, but the landscape picture, the big picture. And I try to emphasize this in many of my videos. I honestly think this is a solid point to mention when it comes to the stock market, and that is it's a lot easier to predict the long-term outcomes of stock performance compared to trying to predict the short-term performance of a stock. So commonly, you hear the financial advice by big-name investors such as Warren Buffett and many others out there that emphasize that people should not try to time the market, and I definitely believe in that most times as well. There are some exceptions to that rule. I'm pretty sure a lot of us investors have broken that rule on a smaller scale in the past, but when it comes to just generally following that rule, I usually kind of go along with that, especially when it comes to my buying practices. Obviously, with Tesla stock in the past, I have waited on the stock price to drop a little bit, but one thing I've learned with this one is when it does seem like you're questioning whether you should buy the stock, that usually seems like the time to buy it, at least for me, because a lot of the times, especially like when Tesla was first starting to break out in this past year, like when it was first starting to go crazy in like mid-January and after that just a little bit, when it was spiking up to this initial peak at 887, I was waiting from basically $400 and on, so I guess like early January, I was waiting as it was hitting $400. I was just thinking, I hope this stock pulls back eventually so I can buy in. And I ended up waiting so long, and the stock eventually just skyrocketed, dropped back down. But the point that it dropped back down to wasn't even close to the share price pullback that I was waiting to buy in at. So I kind of did the same thing right here on February 5th. I was hoping for it to drop down a little bit more. And instead of me just buying in right then, I bought the stock at like $950. I just said, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and dollar cost average, just YOLO on this thing. I'm going to hold it for the long term because, like I said, I'm a long-term investor. So in the past, I have made the mistake of waiting for this stock to drop in price, and it seems like every time I'm waiting for it to drop more, it just beats my expectations and goes back up. So at this point right now, if I did have money to put into the market, I would be buying at under $1,500, and especially in the low 1400s right now. I just wish that I didn't have such a big credit card bill. I have to pay like $3,500 off on the credit card bill by this upcoming month, and I definitely don't want to pay interest. So all of my money is going to that. I'm selling some things as well to pay off that. I shouldn't have made the purchases in the first place because I've been trying to put a lot of my money into investments. But once I get that paid for, then I'll likely be buying some Tesla stock, maybe even some Apple stock as well. I see a little bit of potential with this stock split coming up. I know it makes no fundamental difference in terms of just the value of the stock, but I think that once this stock splits into 1/4 of the share price, some people that may not have had enough money to invest in it may start doing so. So that definitely goes along with like a lot of the Robinhood investors here that just want to put in some money here and there. So I do want to make some purchases, including Tesla, maybe some Apple, maybe some Microsoft as well, as I do think the price is a little bit undervalued for that. But since I didn't do a portfolio breakdown on Friday, I'll just go ahead and include it in this video. So for Tesla, it dropped 4.18% on Friday, which is a $2,137.86 loss. And then in total, we are still way ahead in the gains at plus 68.19%, or plus $19,884.59. And then next up, we have Microsoft stock. I actually had a decent solid gain for Friday with the rumors of the whole TikTok deal going around as well at plus 0.79%, or plus $313.95. And then in total, I am currently at plus 19.91%, or plus $6,653.73 for Microsoft. So definitely happy with that. I'm happy with everyone in my portfolio so far. And then for Apple as well, we got an absolutely crazy gain for Friday at plus 11.11%, or plus $1,795.92. And then in total, I'm at plus 49.51%, or plus $5,945.76. So far, not the craziest day for a Friday, considering that I basically just broke even. Crazy gains for Apple, but my Tesla loss kind of countered that, considering that Tesla is my majority investment in my portfolio. But I did just want to talk about Tesla stock out of curiosity and mention the fact that we have been seeing a pullback recently. Honestly, like I said earlier, I would be disappointed if I bought now and then the stock price drops down to like $900 in the future, but that's just how it goes. With Tesla, it's really unpredictable in the short term, but in the long term, I truly do think that a price target of $10,000 per share by 2030 is actually pretty reasonable, because we have a lot of time for Tesla to grow more, build more factories, improve their batteries while operating on a declining cost curve, and there's just so many beneficial aspects to this company and potential for them to improve improve, become more efficient, while also leading to them to be able to decrease the price on the vehicles and their products as well, which is not only good for the company for more sales, but good for consumers as well. So it's the best of both worlds. And I think there is so much potential right now with Tesla in the lead of the EV sector. And eventually, like I said before in previous videos, I think the EV vehicle market will be just the normal vehicle market in the future. I think most people are going to transition from ICE vehicles to electric vehicles in the future. Yes, there's going to be a few people that love muscle cars and sports cars just because they make noise with the gas engines and stuff like that. That's understandable for those people that like that niche type of stuff. But I think the majority in terms of just the vehicle market will transition over to EVs. And with Tesla being a company that started fresh as an EV manufacturer from the very beginning, they never had to make that transition from ICE vehicles to EVs. I think they really have a huge advantage, and they were one of the first to the game. And also they have the huge asset known as Elon Musk, who I love, one of my favorite people in the world. I've never had like a celebrity role model before, but I would have to admit Elon Musk is probably the closest thing to that. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull with my referral link in the description. If you sign up to those brokerages with my referral link, then you'll get some free stocks. And you can actually get up to 60 free stocks with Webull right now, depending on how much you deposit. So that's some nice passive income if you're planning to invest either way. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.